the books. Can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, there I am. Hey, all right, and a pleasant good morning to you. Coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas, this is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Monday, February 23rd. We're going to be looking for some sports to bet on today. Hopefully you've come to the right place. We've got 3 games in the NBA. We'll look at a few in college basketball, and then we'll find something here. We've got some tennis. We got some soccer. We got college baseball. Who knows what we can find here as we kind of turn the page, get to the end of February here this week, and then head on into March, heading on to baseball season, heading into March Madness. So there's plenty of great days to come. We can always enjoy a little light card here with you guys on a Monday. Thank you for joining me here on the show. We'll recap, I guess, some of the action. Where's the Olympics? That's what we needed. That's what we're missing here this morning. No Olympics. It's all over there, and it's all over with the great game, the game of the century yesterday. It lived up to expectations there in Italy, with the United States winning their 3rd gold medal in U.S. hockey history and Olympic hockey history, joining the 1960 team, joining the great Miracle on Ice team from Lake Placid, and of course yesterday with the U.S. winning 2-1, Jack Hughes scoring on that breakaway goal in overtime for the win. Think of the Hughes family. They had members in all 3 of those Olympic winning teams. That is astounding. That's a stat of a lifetime right there. And man, what a great game. It didn't go the way I thought it would. It was as expected, right? Close to the best. Every movement, a possibility in the game. Connor Hellebuck of the United States makes 41 saves and an astounding performance in goal. Boldy scoring the first period goal on that poke shot. Cale Makar scoring late in the 3rd period to tie the game there for Canada, but the U.S. team wins it, and a nice touch there with Johnny Hockey getting his kids there in the picture and celebrating with his jersey as the United States wins it 2-1. What a day, what a night, what a morning we had here yesterday. Just as we signed off, right? I was like, we're gonna sign off of the show, and then we're gonna go watch probably go couple of, although the format, and people are talking about the format. Hey, look, it wasn't maybe the best way to settle a game like this, but look, we can't be stressing too much here. We got to get back to the NHL season, but man, it just did feel like we wanted it maybe a little bit more 5-on-5 hockey. I mean, why not in the Olympics? Why not go with a great we could have played 4 or 5 periods. Come on, and had a great game. But the United States getting the win there yesterday at the Winter Olympics. And hey, for the U.S., they finished strong there with 11 gold medals, a U.S. record. Norway, though, finished with a record 18 gold medals, including ski legend here, Johannes Klæbo, with 6 record gold medals there at the Olympic Games. So I don't get to do any more Olympics roundup picking 50 to 1 shots in freestyle skiing or anything like that, but that's okay because we've got get on with it here for the second half of the hockey season or whatever we have left here. A month or a couple months of regular season, and we'll get into the playoffs and have a great hockey season as well. But we'll have the memories of that game yesterday and how it ended. A great game, no doubt about it. All right. We did have some college basketball action as well yesterday and some NBA action that we did come home with some winners on. Here on Sundays, we had some winners on the Morning Steam show anyway there yesterday, and was able to bring home a couple winners here anyway. Take a look at some of the winners that we did have here on the show, included Denver and Golden State game 2 go. What do we have there? I'm sorry. Trying to find the winners here actually from yesterday's show. Boston and Lakers game 2 go under yesterday, 111-89 as Boston rocked the Lakers on Pat Riley night. Supposed to win the game on Pat Riley night when you're playing the Boston Celtics there, but maybe the announcement that the Lakers would be increasing their ticket prices anywhere from 14 to 49% here. They already sell out every game this season, but that kind of stunk up the joint there on Pat Riley night. They had a statue for him and everything, but the Celtics continued to look good and continue making their move. You guys always go with Pritchard in the props, and man, you guys were rewarded there yesterday. Pritchard making his case as a top player in this league right now. Hey, we had the Philadelphia 76ers over Minnesota, 135-108 win there yesterday here on the Morning Steam show. But, man, the winners were few and far between here yesterday. At least we did come through with a little bit of action there in college ball yesterday. But we did have Wisconsin there over Iowa, laying the points there in that one, brought home a winner there. We also had Tulsa in that win over Texas San Antonio yesterday. So hopefully we'll have a few winners today. Like I said, not a lot to choose from when it comes to college, and only 3 NBA games today. So, well, we'll just have to make do. All right, say hello to folks in the chat. Get rolling here a little bit. But first, you can get more plays from me here when you go over to winnable.com/Ramon. Get my sports money premiums over here. And, hey, we did come home with a few winners at least on the sports money premiums yesterday with the Magic and the Clippers game to go over as my free VIP selection there last night. Hopefully you're signed up at least with the free picks over there. You can go to winnable.com/Ramon and sign up for free. I send out a few plays for free every day. I mean, hey, I'll just try to give you a bunch of winners here on the show, but if you want to get some more winners from me, head on over to winnable.com and use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off the premium pick packages. Had some VIP winners yesterday. Like I said, at Michigan State over Minnesota as a women's college basketball pick. Starting to add a few more different sports. I think that's what people are looking for from me. So you're going to get more college baseball, women's college basketball, some of the other sports that I specialize in that, look, a lot of people have their own opinions when it comes to some of the bigger sports. So I want to give you a chance to capitalize on some of these other games. We did go 3-1 yesterday with our college basketball women's package. Included were Iowa State plus the points. We also had LSU and Missouri under and UCLA and Wisconsin under. Went 3-1 with my premium picks over there. We also won our premium pick yesterday with the Nets and the Hawks to go under in the NBA as a premium pick winner there on Sunday. So make sure you're riding with me here over at winnable.com/Ramon. We're going to bring home some great winners also here on Monday. So make sure you're joining us. But want to just mention, we also had a couple winners in some soccer action yesterday, including Tottenham and Arsenal over. Also had Villarreal over Valencia. So I'll have some tennis today as well as some soccer. So make sure you're joining me over at winnable.com/Ramon. And I'd appreciate it If you like me here on the show, this is a way you can support me to keep coming back. If everyone quits their subscriptions, I'm going to leave this channel. So better subscribe over there for 41 cents a day, unless maybe you want me to go. That's all right. But it's just 41 cents a day to get more picks from me delivered straight to your phone or device. You can set the notifications even to make sure, because I send them out anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes before game time on some of those premium pick packages. These are the games where, right, we're going to give you some early looks on the morning Steam show, but, we're going to have some picks, later on in the betting cycle when the limits get high. My best picks are coming your way here at winnable.com/Ramon. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being subscribers. Really appreciate it. Hey, let's say hello to Twisted. It got us started here this morning. He's got some picks ready to go. Man, all right, the show's over. There it is. There's our card today in college basketball. Like I said, not a lot going on here, so better take Twisted's plays into account here. He's got under in New Orleans and SFA. He's got Lamar and Nichols game to go under as well, and the two big games we're going to talk about here. Hey, want to say hello and welcome back to Greg Gibson. It's great to have Greg back here in the chat. Missed you there, buddy. You do a great job for us. So, hey, look, everyone counts on you to make them some great money and great picks in the chat. Don't worry about me, man. I mean, I'm just here as one of the guys. So everyone loves to have your picks and information in the chat. Greg here, everybody talking about the action here tonight. Louisville, Andrew K is here today. Good morning to Andrew K. Blake, good morning as well. Dimitri Mamo is here. There's Robert as well. Good morning. Greg's got his other pick here for the big games in Houston and Kansas. Andrew K. talking about Pritchard, man. What a performance, and what a performance by the Celtics there, really crushing the Lakers there, right? And Jermaine, good morning to Jermaine here today. James Parm. All right, and there's our Tomps joining us as well in the chat. All right, appreciate it, you guys. Well, wish we had some other things to talk about here and with the show as we get ready to go. But what are we going to do with our limited schedule here today? Maybe we could just real quick talk about some of the things that went down here, including golf yesterday with the LA Open. My picks weren't that great this week. I know that for sure. We did have a decent performance from Adam Scott, but it was Jacob Bridgman using 6 birdies and eagle on Saturday to get the lead and held off Rory McIlroy had 4 birdies on the back 9 to rally for a second place tie with Kurt Kitayama, who finished with 8 birdies on Sunday. Bridgman, a 1-stroke lead, made it pretty exciting there. Was on a show there Saturday with the MMA Jeff, and I think we got on Rory there, so hopefully Jeff was able to make a little bit of money. That I imagine he probably just wrote it out and hoped that Rory could pass him for the win, but he definitely had some equity there as Rory did close that what was it yesterday, a 6-stroke lead entering the night. So, if you listen to Jeff, you listen to me, you could have got some equity out of there, probably could have got out of it a little bit and made some money there by taking Bridgman after the odds became much, much closer there late. Atlanta 400 NASCAR, Tyler Reddick rallies to win 2 overtime restarts, holds off Chris Hocevar in an accident-marred race, but Reddick wins for the second week in a row. He won the Daytona 500 last Saturday, so Michael Jordan has back-to-back wins to start the season. The race was marred by 4 different wrecks triggered by that crash by Denny Hamlin with 23 laps to go. Didn't have a card for the Atlanta 400 this week, but did see some great picks from Mike in there. So great job here this week. And I think that was kind of the other featured action there here anyway, as far as what we saw over the weekend that wasn't part of our major betting sports, if you will. All right, let's see who else is here in the chat. I think we can just get going with the show here. Man, I could just call it a day here on Monday. Let's see what else is going on here in the chat. Let's see, MJ. There's MJ. Thank you. Hey, there's MJ. Won the 2 races. Comes in here to join us in the chat. Thank you, MJ. Twisted at Hoshavar and Kozlowski there yesterday. Yeah, you know what? Uh, actually, I had one driver come in. I guess I really shouldn't talk about it too much because I didn't have any public plays on the race there yesterday. But I kind of had a long shot card there yesterday myself, and man, I should have came with it because I did have one driver really come up here at the end. But oh man, okay, let's just move on. Let's get into the games here, I guess, and previews over. But we did have some nice plays over there, so make sure you're checking me out over at winnable.com. All right. Let's get going with our previews here. Man, it won't be very long. We only got 3 games in the NBA to worry about. And well, if you're a big NBA fan, there's probably only one. Oh man, Greg, I hope you guys are. Hey, you know what? You can go bet on Kalshi here. How many inches of snow they're going to come through here in the blizzard of the century, or at least of the decade. Here right now, man. Good luck to everybody there. Hopefully, you're seeing me right now. I know you are, but who knows? There's a lot of power outages there and everything. So, all right, let's get going here with the games. And man, we got one big game here today between the Spurs and the Pistons. This is worth the price of admission, or maybe even worth the price of this show here with 2 hot teams that are possibly going to meet in the could be an NBA Finals preview. I mean, come on, San Antonio looks pretty hot here. Can challenge OKC and the rest of the West, and Detroit with, dare I say, MVP candidate Cade Cunningham. Woo! This guy's on fire, and these teams are on fire right now. Spurs have won 8 games in a row, covered 7 of their last 8 games coming in. Detroit's won and covered 5 straight right now. They're unconscious as well. Now, San Antonio did fail to cover the last game against Sacramento. I mean, they were favored by 18.5, and they won by 17. Jerks. But not you guys. But other than that, they're really covering everything here right now. San Antonio, really, really strong here, 11-8 against the spread. 11-6 against the spread as an underdog, and well, they are an underdog right now, believe it or not, here by 1. Does feel like it's moving. Oh, we got some steam coming in there. Wow. Right now, hello. How do we get some steam on this card? UT Rio Grande Valley and McNeese. We're seeing some steam here to the under in this one. Man, it was 146. Is that right? It's going down here to 144 right now. That looks like a pretty solid move. I'm not going to give it away because we don't have enough games to say what I'm on. But if you know what I mean, man, steam coming in right now, right here. Rio Grande Valley and McNeese, and one of the better games in the college basketball card of this 9-game card. Okay, let me continue, though, here talking Spurs and Pistons. You know, Detroit, one area where they're not actually the best is as a favorite, but again, this one's so closely rated. Really, it's like I said, a near toss-up. Detroit 21-6 here against the 21-6 straight up at home. Meanwhile, for San Antonio, 18-10 straight up on the road. So, you know, the immovable object and the irresistible force here a little bit. Yeah, you know, San Antonio here is 7-10 to the under as an underdog, 13-7 to the under on the road. Meanwhile, Detroit 12-16 to the under at home, and 18-25 to the under as a favorite here. But San Antonio has gone over in 6 of their last 7. However, 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under here. Detroit won both meetings last year, 122-96, 125-110. Really handling the business in this particular matchup. And the Spurs were probably a little better than the Pistons last year, and they were still able to beat them. Pistons have gone under in 13 of their last 20 games here coming into this one. The total, look at this thing, is up to 231 here. I don't know. I think it's, a much better, I don't want to say better game than that, but you see some of these trends on the under here right now. Both teams feel like under teams, although of late they've played a few more overs than unders, maybe. Like I said, for Detroit, even though it's 13 of the last 20 under, they're 5-5, over under in their last 10. Like I said, Spurs have been going over here a little bit, but if it's going up to 231, I've got to go under in this one with San Antonio and Detroit here. Give me the under with these two tonight. I mean, they may be going the wrong way. But I'm going to take the under. But obviously, there are a lot of people expecting some great fireworks, some great scoring here in this one. But don't forget, I mean, the reason why Detroit, has been so strong this year. I mean, basically a top 5 defense in all major categories. I mean, I think that's, been part of their success. Let me see what you guys have in the chat. All right. Here we go. And Nate says, how about those Celtics? Man, they did a job on those Lakers. They really showed them. All right, and man, it's snow all over with you guys right now. Boy, I saw AOC talking about that she got to stop apparently having a few cocktails before she starts making her social media tweets. She explained to us that snow does not melt in 20-degree weather. All right, Blake says go under here. Robert's on the Spurs. Crip Keys here says the Celtics made his night in that one. Me too. I had the Celtics in the game against the Lakers there yesterday. We had the total right here also right on the morning steam. Yeah, we had the under. Greg says got a 116 to 113 here. Detroit doing some home cooking. And Andrew says the Knicks are 20-2. Well, he's talking about some results there from last night. Thank you, Andrew. Okay, I'll just take the under here in this one with San Antonio and Detroit. All right, well, hey, if you're going to have a good game, you're going to have a bad game too. But let's take a look here with the Kings on the road, taking on the Grizzlies here, NBA action for Monday night, and they got to play them all, so we're just desperate for sports. Sacramento here, both teams struggling here, but Sacramento especially, I don't even know how many they've lost. I've lost track, actually. I know they are 5-11 against the spread, their last 16 overall. Memphis, meanwhile, has lost 5 of their last 6, but they did gather a win here out of the break against Utah, 123 to 114 before losing to Miami the next night, 136 to 120 on the back-to-back. Memphis. So even though they had been losing, they've actually gone 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. They didn't cover against Miami, but they had covered before that, including 3 straight road games into the break against Portland, Golden State, and Denver on the road. So Memphis, they've almost, should I say, they've kind of showed a little bit of life here, a little bit for Memphis here. Both teams kind of saddled with some injuries coming into this one. You've got Kyle Anderson doubtful here for Memphis tonight. Cedric Coward is out. Aldama is out. KCP, of course, now out for the season. For Memphis here, DeAndre Hunter reportedly out for the season now over the weekend. Sabonis out for the season. Levine out for the season. Cardwell's out indefinitely. So injuries galore here with these two teams. And so which team will, kind of run out the better squad here at this point? In this game, Memphis favored here by down. It looks like 4. I'm going to say it's down to 4 here right now. And the total, 232.5 looks good, but maybe a little bit of a move here to the Kings. The Kings are no good. I mean, they're 10-19 against the spread on the road. At least Memphis 11-8 against the spread as a favorite. Sacramento 20-13. 20-23 against the spread as an underdog. So Sacramento here not only with this massive losing streak, they're also 2-6 against the spread the last 8 games against the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis has won 3 straight meetings between them, including all 3 meetings this season, and Memphis covered the spread in all 3 games. So why wouldn't they cover in this one? But let's see what you have here with Memphis taking on Sacramento. Memphis is 12-15 against the spread at home, but like I said, they've covered a few as a favorite here. Maybe against this Kings team, they can get one done. So Memphis is 7-2-1 to the over in the last 10 games. In fact, they're 7-2 to the over in the last 9 games overall, although 9 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams have gone under here, and Sacramento is 23-29 to the under as an underdog. 2 of the 3 meetings this year did go under. A very similar number here. This is probably the lowest total yet is of the 3 games this season, but the games this season went for 233, 222, and then the last game there about 3 weeks ago was 129-125. Memphis did get the win at Sacramento as a 3-point dog. Let's hear from you in the chat here in this one. The total's gone down here a little bit, and I'm going to take the total under. Now let me go to the chat and see what you guys have here in this one between Sacramento and Memphis here on a Monday. All right, and we've got here let's see here. Greg Gibson says 118-113 Memphis can get this cover. And Kripke says, I think you would just take the Grizz. You're going to bet this game. Numbers say take the Kings, but who wants them? I think is what he's saying in there. Greg likes Memphis and the under. Here's Blake says, take the Grizzlies -4. And Jermaine's got some prop action here. 9 Legacy says, take the Pistons on the spread. Take the Kings on the spread here. Greg says, Kings play better against good teams. Memphis is just a mediocre team. Great point, Greg. Greg, it's good to have you back in here. You made my day by coming into the chat here tonight. All right, and I think that's it from you guys. Guido's here in the chat as well. Great to see Guido today. All right, I guess that's it for that one. Let's move on. We got one more, an okay game here. We got one good team, one bad team. But got the Jazz taking on the Rockets division play here on Peacock tonight from the Toyota Center. Utah coming in here off of a couple of losses right now out of the break. They lost to Portland. They lost to Memphis. But you do have here, at least you'll have Markkanen in the lineup tonight. Again, how many times we say it, as long as you got Markkanen, you might be a little bit safer with the Jazz. Keontae George, questionable. Nurkic, he's out of this game. For Houston, Tate is out as well. That's pretty much the injury front with this contest. For Houston, meanwhile, they do come in here. They beat Charlotte last time. They beat Charlotte to come out of the break, although they didn't cover that one. But then they lost to the Knicks, but they covered the spread on the road. So Rockets are doing okay here. It's just that their numbers are so bad, actually, as a favorite. 8-13. 8-17 against the spread at home. 19-13 against the spread as a favorite. Rockets are not in a good roll ever, it seems like, when they're laying some points. And like I said, Utah, they seemingly find a way to get it done in situations like this. Yeah, they're in the tankathon or whatever, but still 15-13 against the spread on the road. They've covered here. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams. Rockets have dropped 14 of 18, but covered the spread in 6 of their last 8. Houston's just 2-7, as I said, against the spread in their last 9 games. Houston's gone under in 6 of their last 7 games, but 5 of the last 6 meetings have gone over. Just to note, the Rockets have gone under in 11 straight home games. So that might be enough for a lot of people here. When you think about it, 11 straight unders at home, and you got a Utah team that's gone under in 6 of their last 9. But Utah, this is where they actually end up going over, is when they are an underdog. They are 29-20 to the over as a dog. So you do have that factor in there a little bit. Tough to buck a 11 straight home under trend there for the Rockets. But all right, I'm going to take Utah here in this one. Plus, oh man, is it really down to 13 here? Boy, it was 15 earlier. Let me go ahead and take them here. Missed out on all the value here in this one. I'll try Utah here against Houston. Boy, 15 was nice overnight, but it's down to 13 here right now. Maybe for a reason. Like I said, Rockets do have some trouble covering numbers. There's just no doubt about it. You got a team here that's still 18-7 straight up at home, but 8-17 against the spread. So they're just laying too many points quite often. They're a team not with a lot of killer instinct, if you will. All right, Houston here against the Jazz. Let's go to the chat and see what you've got in this one. Okay, we've got Kripke is going to like the Rockets. And Bobby Mack says go under 9 legacies on Utah on the spread. Jermaine's got KD with 4+ assists. Hopefully KD, was he the GOAT the other day? And I don't mean the GOAT greatest of all time. He was the guy who kind of cost him the game there, right, the other night? All right, let's see here. Jermaine's got a prop with Thompson steals, and the Gibson ratings are in here, calling for a 120-109 win for Houston, and that'd be a Utah cover there, and that'd be an over for sure there. I think we're right on. I think I'm right on with Greg, everybody. How about that? Oh, man, that's it for the NBA. Oh, man. Okay, that's okay, because wait till you see Tuesday's schedule. We got a few more games tomorrow. Hey, you want to say hello to Wager Detective today? There he is. A great job, Wager Detective. Always some great content. Follow Wager Detective. I do. And great video content from Wager Detective. Great to see him in here in the chat. All right, Greg says, too many points. Take Utah. I will, Greg, but man, I could have got 15 here if I would have woke up in time. You know what? After all those nights of the Olympics, let's just say, maybe I just woke up a little while ago with knowing that I did all the work for the show, and maybe I slept in a little bit, okay, for once. All right. That's it for the NBA. We're going to go to college basketball now. We could do them all, but it's kind of, not all the games are significantly important here. Let's just face it. We got to get to the conference tournaments in some of these conferences. None of these teams are going to the NCAA tournament, although we'll start it with a good game where we do have some tournament teams here, tournament style teams. Let's get it going here in college basketball right now with the Louisville Cardinals taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels. College basketball action here for a Monday. 21st ranked Louisville coming in here taking on 16th ranked UNC. Louisville comes in here 20-7, UNC 21-6 right now. UNC probably has been a little bit better of a cover this year, 11-5 against the spread at home. They're an underdog here, and they're 4-3 ATS as a dog this season. For Louisville here, mediocre results against the spread. In fact, they failed to cover in each of their last 2 games. They beat Georgia Tech 87-70 last time out, but were favored by 23.5 points. They lost to SMU as a favorite on the road. They did have a little winning streak before that over Baylor, NC State, and Wake. They played a little non-conference game in there. For UNC, meanwhile, they're in off of a nice win at Syracuse, 77-64. Why I was on Syracuse in that game, I don't know, scratching my head here a little bit, but Louisville does come in here 6-1 straight up in their last 7, but just 4-10 against the spread in their last 14 games overall. Louisville's lost 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams, although the one win was Louisville last year's meeting between the two teams. Louisville won at 83-70 at home as a 1.5 point favorite. Carolina has won 7 of its last 9 games overall. They've gone under in 4 of their last 5. Also, 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Let's see what you have here with Louisville taking on North Carolina here in this one. The total here is at 162. I get it here with these two teams. I think, but man, Louisville's 10-17 to the under this season, and North Carolina's 2-5 to the under as an underdog here. So I'm not so sure. I kind of want to go under in this one. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. Maybe I can go with the side here a little bit, but I don't know. I think at 1.6, I think I'm ready to get in on some of this total today. Let's see what you have in the chat, everybody. Who we got? Louisville versus Carolina. Let's go. And James Parham here is on the over in this one. Bobby Mack's liking Louisville. Wager Detective says, is this one too easy to call here right now with Louisville? Like I said, Carolina's the one that's kind of the money maker here. But yeah, Louisville is maybe a little bit hotter right now. Remember, Carolina's ranked higher. I don't know what you want to, what you put into that. Very much here, and also Kripke talking about those injuries, right, for North Carolina right now. Not only the injury to Caleb Wilson, but Matt Lakovich is out as well, and at least Visar is probable here. He missed that last one, so that's pretty big. Also, James Brown, he's out for the season with a foot injury. So Carolina's got these injuries, and that's what they're having to face here right now. But like I said, they came through with flying colors against Syracuse. Yeah, they did lose to NC State. Hey, we were all over NC State in that game. They crushed North Carolina 2 games back, but no doubt a bummer there for Carolina, missing Wilson here for the rest of the season. Wager Detective laying the knowledge on us here a little bit. Says Louisville's 3-7 in the last 10 versus Carolina. So you can take that there. And let's see here. Louisville 1-6 their last 7 at Chapel Hill. All the games apparently. Oh, I see what you're saying. A lot of unders here. Okay, I guess I'm in on the under. That's all I needed from Wager Detective telling me about this series history with these two, conference opponents. Like I said, Carolina, he mentioned it, Carolina has dominated these guys really for the last few years, but I'll go ahead and take the under here in this one between Louisville and North Carolina. The widely reported steam came in on the over, but I'm not too concerned. I think this one, too many points. All right. And Kripke says this is a Carolina situation. Well, that's the thing, Kripke. The one thing is that you should look at it. Look, I don't tell you how to do this, but the injury is factored into the line, right? So if it's a Carolina spot, it should still be a Carolina spot, kind of. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it too. Here's our tops on Louisville here. Greg says right now it looks a little bit like a tarp. Yep, and the Wager Detective saying it looks like maybe if they had their personnel, huh? Blake likes the under here in this one. Pardon me, okay. Public Enemy, Louisville, and the under. And the wager detective says about the betting splits here right now with this game. I'm showing here as far as what I have for the splits that I use, which is a culmination, which is a 7-book sample size with over 7,000 bets in here right now. And I'm showing right now that 65% of the spread money is on Louisville, but 60% of the tickets are on Carolina here. So if you really look at that a little bit, that kind of says Louisville, talking about the sharper money there. I think that's what Wager Detective is asking about. All right. And look, Greg says here, what about, you saw that the Duke North Carolina game earlier this season, right? Carolina got that win 71-68 at home as a 6.5 point dog. So, but again, a lot of people have pointed out that, it's only been the last couple of games that Wilson has gone down. All right. Yeah. Someone is definitely, Greg, one of the best players in the country is out of this game. But again, like I said, it's kind of built into the line, right? I mean, I'm still, like I said, Carolina 11-5 against the spread at home. So, all right, that's it, I think, for that one.
Steam play.
Oh, what do we got? Some steam here. Oh, it's coming in right now on this game. If you believe in it or want to, it's coming in right now on Louisville. Here comes the move. It's coming in right this second. Well, who's hitting it in the chat? Or is it you guys hitting it in the chat? Louisville is up right now to a 3-point favorite at South Point. 3 minus 15 at Circa. The steam that you just heard in the background is on Louisville, and the money is coming in here right now on the bill. If you want Louisville, you can hurry, get those good numbers, because this line is moving higher here with Louisville up here now. This one, look, it was as low as 1.5 on the openers, and now we're looking at 3, maybe even juiced up here a little bit right now here on the Morning Steam Show, as we are getting that steam in here right now as we speak on Louisville. The timing is impeccable here, isn't it? Let's see here. Yep, there it is. 2.5 and 3s right now. I'm checking it out on Louisville there a little bit. All right, man. How about that? All right, Robert said the 2 is gone. You're watching your books. You're seeing that little red and green, and right behind it. Let's go right now. The Kansas game is moving too. I see it here right now, turning red here as we speak with Kansas and Houston. Look at that line. It's moving here too to 1.5 here right now. Was 2. Maybe moving back to 1.5 a little bit. That's not the game we're previewing right now, but I just want to mention the steam is coming in right now on Kansas, plus the points. As we speak here, the steam has come in here on the Kansas Jayhawks. So, all right, Twisted got a little bit more commentary here on the game there. But we'll get to the Kansas game. I just want to mention the spread right now that Kansas is getting steamed here. It's kind of the last game of the previews here, but maybe we should go to that. Maybe we should jump to that game. It's not like we're held down by any constraints, but just let it settle in with you guys there a little bit right now, and that spread is moving. All right. Let's go ahead and stay in order here of our chronological order there. We'll get to the Kansas game. We've only got a couple games to look at, actually. And I want to talk about the Southland Conference, because what else are we going to talk about today, huh? Okay, so we're here in the Southland Conference today, and I'm going to look at the 2 teams that are battling it out right now for the conference championship, although I think it's going to be difficult for McNeese, actually, to win the regular season conference title. To me, I think that going to be able to, see that Stephen F. Austin should be able to hold off McNeese here. Look, I think the one thing is, look, you got 1 game left. Maybe you look for an upset here. You'd love to get a conference regular season title here, but Stephen F. Austin is 18-1 with 3 games to play, and McNeese is 16-3 here with 3 games to play. So yeah, you could go one more time, but if not, and maybe even starting already with these 2 teams, it's time to pack it up and get ready, because it's going to be a collision course between McNeese and Stephen F. Austin here for one bid, basically for one bid right now. We're actually seeing, I believe, some movement in this game here as we speak.
Steam play.
Ooh. We do have Steam right now, and it is in the game, another game we're about to talk about here with Mississippi Valley and Grambling. Believe it or not, it is our preview, because Mississippi Valley is coming in off of its 2nd win of the season. We had to preview them. Look, I want to say we previewed every game in college basketball this season, right? We're on here every day, 350 16, whatever it is, 353 teams, whatever. I don't know if we previewed Mississippi Valley State. We're going to do it today, and they're getting steamed right now as we speak here, down to 16 here against Grambling today. So I don't know. We'll see, but maybe it is Mississippi Valley playing a little momentum here, taking the steam right now. All right, and I think we're also we'll see. I think the looks like a move is starting to come in the McNeese game here, so we'll just talk about it here for a second, see what happens in the next minute or two. I do see it's not totally steamy yet, but we're starting to see a little bit of movement here. So let me conclude. McNeese and, of course, Stephen F. Austin are heading for a collision course. Now, in the Southland Conference, those teams will receive double buys. So, I mean, they're going to have to win a game and then, play for the conference tournament title. The only thing is here, only one team's getting in. Even as good as Stephen F. Austin has been, 25-3 right now. We'll get to that game in just a moment. Probably only one team's getting in, and yeah, you got to be healthy for that big game. So you don't want to take any chances, I guess. Still going to play out the string here a little bit. Here comes that. Knew it. Here comes the move. It's on Rio Grande Valley right now as we speak. This game is moving here currently. No doubt about it. It's down to 10 here right now with Rio Grande Valley and McNeese. This team is coming in right this second on Rio Grande Valley. In fact, I imagine that in a second we're going to hear the move in the background. I think I'm beating the books to the punch here as I look at the tote kind of lighten up here right now. Let me see if I can pinpoint it here with this one down to 10 right now as we speak here. Hasn't been official.
Steam play.
Oh, that's a different one here. I thought it was going to be that game, but here's one more steam move coming in right now. Incarnate Word and Northwestern State. Some steam to the under in this one. It was 141. We're down to 139 here with Incarnate Word and Northwestern State, and another Southland game here tonight. We're seeing that steam coming out. I see a lot of comments here. Let's go to the chat. In this one, I haven't even done the stats or anything here for this game. Okay, let's see what we have here. All right. Robert's on the under here in this one. And Twisted says he likes McNeese to cover. Well, look at this. You're going to get a little bit of a discount here, Twisted. Greg says he's got it 76 to 66 here right now. And there's a 142 points here. That still, I believe, is an under there for Greg. Thank you, Wager Detective. You'd think I'd know, but you know what? We add some teams every year, don't we? Just remember how many days in the year. Well, there'll probably be some new teams here. All right. Rio Grande could cover, says Kripke. And let's see here. Don't forget Wager Detectives. Don't forget the Bill Self Monday factor. Never loses on a Monday. We know that, right? All right, the McNeese money line here for Public Enemy. Yeah, well, hey, nothing like good $6. What are they? $6 favorites. All right, and a team for every day of the year. I think that's what we did. And now we're landing on the last day of the year, and we've got to preview Mississippi Valley State because they're on that one game winning streak. I'm serious. We're going to preview that game. All right, hey, I gotta make the call here in this one. Oh, let me at least do the preview. I mean, geez, you guys are handling the business right now in the chat. All right, McNeese comes in here on a roll, but Rio Grande Valley. The thing is, we're talking about the two games we picked kind of here in the Southland is basically you got second and third place here with McNeese and Rio Grande Valley, and that's hey, Rio Grande Valley's had a nice season. 12-7 here in conference play. Corey Cotton has been a pretty good find here for Rio Grande Valley, the junior. Now McNeese does have Johnson and Archie, of course, here. So we'll see. We read off some of the trends and stats for this one. For Rio Grande Valley, they've won 10 of their last 11 here. Their only loss, it was to Stephen F. Austin. So that just goes to show you how well this Rio Grande Valley team is playing. They've covered 6 straight on the road, covered 7 of their last 9 overall, 9 of their last 10 here in conference play. McNeese they've won 20 straight games at home dating back to last season. They've won 5 straight here. They've gone under in 5 of their last 7. They've won 9 of their last 10 conference games here as well. Rio Grande Valley's been a fine underdog on the road, 10-5 against the spread. But McNeese, even though we talk about a little bit of a McNeese tax, they're still 9-4 against the spread at home this season. So give McNeese credit. They've been kind of saddled with some tax, if you will, but still it feels like, for the most part, they've been able to handle it. Now, McNeese has been going under here for sure of late. They are 3-6-1 to the under, although they are 2-1-1 to the over in their last 4, but still 10-12 to the under is a favorite. Rio Grande Valley is 11-15 to the under overall here. These two teams met last month. It was 79-76. It did go over in that game, but again, we've seen this total here drop from one high of I saw it go up to as high as 146. Right now we're looking at 140. I don't think it's quite 143 here. I'd say it's 144 as far as maybe a consensus line is concerned, although there is some 143.5 and some 144.5. So give me the under here in this one between Rio Grande Valley and McNeese. I'm going to take the under here. Let's go back to the chat and see if there's not much else. Raw Thompson on the under. All right. And thank you so much, Wager Detective, man. You do such a great job with all your great content. Really appreciate you saying that, man. All right. 9 Legacy says Rio Grande Valley on the spread, New Orleans on the spread, UNC on the spread. There's Wager Detective talking about, hey, don't jump ahead of us there, Wager Detective, on Mississippi Valley State, all right? We're trying to get to that. I'm taking that as my big game of the day here. All right. That's right, Greg. See, you know what? That's why, don't forget, Greg, it's not about me here. I'm trying to keep us just informed, right, about all the moves that come in. All right. McNeese is going to cover today by 20, says Dimitri. Okay. Let's go to the next one here right now. And again, we're just looking at the top 2 teams in the Southland here. Maybe the other games are more competitive, but look, we're going to be, like I said, there'll be so many conference tournament games. We're probably not going to preview too many of those Southland games here when we get to the conference tournament in a couple weeks. So just kind of lining it up right now for these 2 teams here, Stephen F. Austin. But look, New Orleans, like I said, you got New Orleans here the other decent team, right? They're 11-8 in conference play. They're not quite Rio Grande Valley, but still they've been playing pretty well as well. We'll go through some of the numbers with this team. New Orleans has won a couple games in a row here right now over Incarnate Word and Lamar. They've also covered 4 straight games. They've been a terrific cover for most of the season, talking about the New Orleans Privateers. New Orleans comes in here 8-2 against the spread. Their last 10 games overall, they're 13-8 against the spread as an underdog. So New Orleans done a real nice job. For Stephen F. Austin, look, I don't know if there's been a Stephen F. Austin tax, because it feels like McNeese has kind of been the popular team, but Stephen F. Austin has been the better team. They're 20-6 against the spread. Imagine that. A team with an incredible record of 25-3 is 20-6 against the spread, 10-3 against the spread at home, 15-5 against the spread as a favorite here. So, look, they are playing one of the better teams in this conference. The two teams met already. It was 84-79. Stephen F. Austin won at New Orleans back in January. This is a Stephen F. Austin series here, no doubt. They've won most of the meetings between these two teams, although they're just New Orleans is 4-2. Oh, the total's 15, by the way. We can fix that. It's 150, I think. Let me make sure here. 149.5, 150, 149, somewhere right in there. There we go. It'll take over 15. But anyways, this has been mostly a Stephen F. Austin series between the two teams. Stephen F. Austin's on a long winning streak here right now. They're not covering them all. They failed to cover against Nichols last time out as a 12.5 point favorite, but did have covers against Corpus Christi and Rio Grande Valley. Did not cover against East Texas A&M, but like I said, for the most part, Stephen F. Austin's been a pretty hot cover. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. SFA has gone over in 4 of their last 5. New Orleans has gone over in 14 of their last 20. That's a lot of overs, especially for a team like Stephen F. Austin that is actually 10-15 to the under of this season. New Orleans is 13-8 to the over as a favorite. I want to hear from you in the chat between New Orleans and Stephen F. Austin. Action here for Monday. All right, let's see here. See what we got. All right, Wager Detective says it might be shading it a little bit here now, down to the 13. Let me see here. Still, we're dealing with a few 12s and 12.5. So I think you're right. I think we can move this one to 12.5 at least safely right now. So a little bit of move on New Orleans here. In fact, I see some 12s out there even. So maybe maybe these guys get a little too much here. Like I said, if you look overall, New Orleans is a pretty good cover, even though Stephen F. Austin is one of the best covered teams in the country this season. I think that's a fact. All right, and there we go. Weedu says the Vegas reviews volume off, stream isn't real. I'm not real. I'm AI. You know what? I need to make an AI version of myself. Sure. Okay. Stephen F. Austin versus New Orleans under 150 for Twisted. There's Sharpie in the chat. Great to see Sharpie in here today, getting ready for. We'll mention gotta mention while Sharpie's here. So yeah, we know we got spring training going, everything like that. It's been awesome here so far to watch Yankees and the Dodgers already getting buys into the World Series. But the World Baseball Classic is going to take place here in just about a week and a half. It's going to be great to have some, we already have that international feel, right, with the Olympics, with the hockey. Well, we need another chance to root for your teams here in the World Baseball Classic starting on March 4th and playing for a couple of weeks through there. So a little bit of change of pace as well here, a little bit into the regular season, huh? All right. Greg said New Orleans was playing pretty good last month. Yeah, you know what? New Orleans done a great job, no doubt about it. Their Twisted might be on SFA. Bobby Mack says take New Orleans here in this one. And the Public Enemy, though, says lay it here with Stephen F. Austin. I'm going to go with the over in this one. Hey, Art Thompson and I, we're finally together here on our totals so far here tonight. Let's go over with New Orleans and Stephen F. Austin. Greg has it going over there, it looks like, as well. But Twisted Mirror likes it close to the right on the total there a little bit. Maybe a little under. Yep, I think that's what he's saying. Right, Wager Detective, I could just type everything in, and then I wouldn't have to appear with my ugly mug on the screen here. Although some people find me extremely attractive. All right, here we go. Dimitri's on the over. And even I can't do the AI girlfriend thing, though. I mean, I don't know. Look, I might be a little bit out there, okay? I might be a lonely old man, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't figure it out. It doesn't work for me. Cameron Sinnett says World Series, Subway Series this year. Oh gosh, the Mets. Let's just try to get the Mets out of last, to keep them out of last place. Okay. All right. Greg says end of the game. Steven takes their players out because they're up 19, and New Orleans will come back to cover because they got a pretty decent team, and that's how things like that happen. All right. And Weedu is going to put on a tie for us because we're so handsome here. Okay. That's it for that one. I'll take the over. All right. I promised a little bit of Mississippi Valley State. Look, they're only getting called up here on the preview because they're playing Gremlins. They're playing Gremlins. Fix that. Grambling. The Gremlins. Remember Gremlins? Anybody remember Gremlins? Anybody old like me remember Gremlins? Okay. There we go. Grambling. And again, I've already updated the line there, huh? Down to 16 and a half here in this one. The steam came in on Mississippi Valley State, and why not? I mean, come on. They're coming off the 72-71 victory of last time out. Awesome performance for Mississippi Valley. They got the win. They ended their 25-game losing streak. Look, they're not the worst cover team, right? I mean, how do you measure your basketball teams, right? I mean, sure, you could have a team losing, but we know that what we try to do here is pick against the spread. So, hey, they're 9-7 against the spread on the road, okay? Mississippi Valley. Meanwhile, Grambling's not really covering here much of late. All right. For MVSU here, they've actually covered 6 straight games against the Grambling Tigers. How about that? Grambling's just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games overall. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games, have the Grambling Tigers. They lost to Southern, Prairie View, Texas Southern, and Alabama A&M, but they did beat Alabama State. But Grambling, not a great cover, 5-7 against the spread as a favorite. Yes, they are playing number 350. Are you telling me that winning that game did not take Mississippi Valley State out of last place in the Ken Palm and net ratings here this season? Anyways, we're over in the. By the way, we're over in the SWAC here in this. We often kind of clump in, right? SWAC, MEAC, Southland, but Southland far and away the better conference of the 3. Anyways, here for. Mississippi Valley. The thing about this matchup, right, is yes, we're making fun of, we're pumping up Mississippi Valley State here after their big victory there over Texas Southern, 72-71 is 11.5 point favorite. But it's not like they're playing Bethune-Cookman here, okay? They're playing Grambling State. Mississippi Valley State, that was their first conference win. They're 1-13. I get it. But Grambling is in next to last. Now, they are 5-8 at least, but still, these are the bottom 2 teams in the conference anyway. We know that, Mississippi Valley far and away, probably the worst team there, worst team in the country, Mississippi Valley, but come on, they can cover this spread against Grambling. They're the team that covers spreads out of these two teams, right? Mississippi Valley just 2-4 though against spread in their last 6 games. And I think it was 19. What did I say? 25-game losing streak before winning that last one. Grambling's gone under in 7 of their last 9. Mississippi Valley's gone under in 4 of their last 5, and 5 straight meetings between the two teams have gone under. So, well, now I will say this: Mississippi Valley. On the road, it usually goes higher than this. In fact, 8 of their last 9 road games have finished with a total higher than this one. But they're also playing a pretty woeful team here in Grambling that is a total under team. Grambling's 8-16 to the under, 3-9 to the under as a favorite here. Mississippi Valley 8-11 to the under as an underdog. Like I said, the numbers, it usually goes up higher for Mississippi Valley, but that's only because they're playing maybe more capable teams than a team like Grambling. I've got the under in this one between Mississippi Valley and Grambling. These two teams are combined 20-31 to the under, despite the fact, like I said, the number usually ends up higher than this for Mississippi Valley, but that's usually because they're giving up a lot more points than they're probably going to allow here tonight in this one. In fact, when the two teams met last season, it was 65-54. Grambling won it, did not cover. They were favored by 16.5 in that one. The total was 129 last year. Okay. So let's see. If you guys make comments on this game, that's why you're here. You guys are the my sickos. Here. Okay. Let's see what we got. Twisted says this is a garbage game. Well, of course it is, Twisted. Did you see the schedule today? Even Twisted can't bet this one. Robert's got the over here. In this one, Andrew K. talking about the college baseball card today. Look, like I said, when you subscribe with my picks, I know there was one game was canceled there, Fullerton and Stanford. I think I didn't look into that. But 4-game college baseball card today. All right. Dimitri, McNeese, and New Orleans. Greg says Grambling wins this one, but just by 14 points. I think that's favored Mississippi State. Cameron says, watch out for the Mets. They're the second. Well, the Mets should win every year, but for some reason, they don't. And let's see, here Grambling by 20. Everyone's on Mississippi Valley. Oh boy, Mississippi Valley is the public team. we better be on Grambling. All right. Greg says too many points for Grambling to give up. Take the points. Dimitri took Oakland yesterday. Twisted says Mississippi Valley will have their best player on the court out of the two teams, but they suck too. Okay, Art Thompson's on the under here. And let's see. I think that's it for that one. All right. I'll take the under. All right. And we got one more. We got the big game here tonight with Houston taking on Kansas. And, well, someone already gave away my pick here. Kansas is an underdog at home. Can you believe it? To anyone here? Yes, it is Houston. Yes, Houston's ranked second in the country right now, but we haven't seen the new poll come out. I don't think it has come out yet. It should be out soon. And then we're not going to be ranked second any longer after the 2 losses here this week to Iowa State and to Arizona right now. So still, Houston, I'll fix the spread, by the way. We know the line has already moved here to 1.5. And 138 still here. There we go. Whoops. There we go. 1.5 and 138 here in this one. So, yes, the move came in just a short time ago on the Kansas Jayhawks here. Kansas, they're coming off a loss too at home against Cincinnati. So, yeah, you could wake it up here a little bit and say maybe they were looking ahead. Cincinnati played a great game, man. It was 84-68. They rocked them there in that one. Kansas still here though 10-5 against the spread at home, 17-10 against the spread overall. Houston just 11-10 against the spread as a favorite. Houston's actually won 3 straight meetings between these two teams, including both meetings last year, 92-86. Houston won at KU as a 1-point dog, and they also won at home, 65-59. Did not cover the spread, and that one is a 9.5-point favorite. Kansas, they're for a while anyway, it did seem like Kansas would be making its way, to the top of the standings and joining the Arizonas and Houstons of the world. But they lost a couple in there too now. 2 of their last 3 overall. So Houston is a game out of first place right now. Kansas still with 4 losses here. Nothing's been decided. We have 4 games left and really 5 teams battling it out. Even though we know Houston is here down 1 game to Arizona right now in the conference standings. So let's hear from you in the chat in this one. You got a Kansas team that's 9-18 to the under here this season, and also 5-10 to the under at home. Houston's 11-16 to the under, 8-13 to the under as a favorite. Houston here just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. In fact, they've failed to cover in 4 straight. Kansas, meanwhile, 8-3 against the spread in their last 11. They've still won 9 of their last 11. They've won 8 of their last 9 at home, despite that slip up there to Cincinnati. Maybe it was a look ahead. There's nothing, okay, we know we got the Peterson situation here right now, but as far as I know, I think he's in for now anyway. Here, so let's go to the chat though in this one, see what you have with Houston taking on Kansas. Okay. Man, are we getting crushed in the cryptos again today, says Andrew. All right. Robert's on Kansas here. Kripke's on Kansas. Twisted is on the over. Robert's on the over. Also, let's see. UCF went to Kansas and won, so Houston will win. I know, but I just can't get off the stat of what is it? Is Wager Detective still out? They gave it to us. How many is it in a row with Bill Self on Monday nights? 53? I don't know what it is. Here, never loses on Monday nights. Man, our top's on the over. Houston needs this win more than Kansas tonight, says Greg. And it's always tough to go into Allen Fieldhouse, but maybe Houston can finally, get one here. Let's see here. Hey, there's Terrell in the chat. Great to see Terrell. Good morning, Terrell. He says it's going to be, look, Terrell, 138, right? It feels like, now look, you could say here that maybe at least in this situation, maybe they can find the right formula. Maybe there's something out there that kind of says this one could get over. Houston's gone under in 6 of their last 7. Kansas has gone under in 8 of their last 11. Just talked about all those Kansas games there, right? And you look at the game last year at Houston, 65-59. Now, granted, they did play an earlier game at KU. The one at KU was 92-86, but it was only 132 points at the end of regulation. They actually played double overtime in that one. So, yeah, you think it's now the steam did come in, like I said, on the over here. It's actually given a little bit of a cushion up there to 138. So, All right. And let's see. Take the Cougars, says Greg. And both teams will finish in the 60s like the Beatles. Come on, Terrell. What about the Beatles at Shea State? Look between Cam Sinnett telling us the Subway Series is good, and Terrell going back to the Beatles at Shea Stadium. And Twisted, right? Where, that was a little bit. Now, look, I had Cincinnati in that game against Kansas, and it does stand out like a sore thumb. And you're like, hey, man, this team just lost to Cincinnati at home. How are they going to beat Houston at home? But I'm taking Kansas. Give me the Jayhawks here tonight in this one. You know where I'm headed with the premiums, though. All right. Terrell says, though, no way it goes under. The metrics point to the under, but it should go over, maybe with these two good teams against one another. And Terrell says that's how important it is for Houston, right? They're fighting for their lives. It does feel like, and we were talking about it with Mikey and Jeff here this weekend about, the top teams in the country, who is going to go to the Final Four, right? And look, Cam says Houston here. So, look, I think, Duke looks really good. They look great in that game against Michigan. Michigan still looks pretty great as well. I think Arizona here now, we saw Koa Pete is definitely going to be questionable again tomorrow, so he's probably going to miss another game or two, it looks like, here right now. But as far as, I'll say, Michigan, Duke, Arizona, I don't mind being chalky here on these Final Four teams. And we know anything can happen, okay? But, yeah, it looks like Peterson is playing here tonight. But as far as that fourth team now, with Houston falling out, with Arizona losing on the road to a UCLA, I know that, maybe UCLA was hungry and needed that one. Florida looks like that fourth team right now that is playing well enough. They've got, obviously, the experience and everything. And, as far as like UConn, look, they're down in the net ratings. They're down in the Ken Palm ratings a little bit. So I think, to me, maybe Connecticut is not up to par, up to standard with these teams. Gonzaga will always find a way to not get there and end up with two losses into the tournament, and they'll end up getting beat somehow. Right now, Iowa State's showing some flaws. Purdue, so I don't know. I don't know who could be that fourth team right now. I don't want to just go out there and just say, hey, Duke, Michigan, Arizona. But you know what? The funny thing is about what we saw recently with teams like Florida Atlantic, maybe even my San Diego State team, some of those teams that have snuck in. I don't know if that's going to happen anymore with NIL. It seems like the teams that are bigger, that have the money, will be the teams that end up being the best teams here going to the Final Four. So, all right, I'm going to take Kansas here. Terrell, give me this. Does Terrell have the stat? How many in a row have these guys won on Monday night with Bill Self? I think it's 51 in a row right now, right? 61. No, it's 61 in a row with Bill Self. Kansas has won 61 straight home games on Monday. Bill Self 40-0 on Big Monday, so I can't buck that. I can't buck that, even if Houston, they're the better team. Okay, I'll take. Remember, they don't play Houston every night on Monday night, so there's a little bit of that too. And they played, but there's no doubt they've been featured on TV, and they always play some big, some of the better teams anyway. I'll go ahead and try the 61 in a row with Kansas. All right. Okay, man, that's it for college basketball and the previews here tonight. And I really want to thank you guys here. Look, we went over an hour here, an hour and a half here right now. Just saw a little bit of news come out here. Mikko Rantanen, he's going to be questionable for the game, doubtful for the game on Wednesday as we resume action in the NHL here on Wednesday. And Rantanen of the Stars going to be questionable here in that game. So, oh, thanks a lot, everybody. Special thanks to Greg Gibson for coming here and joining us again today. We really missed you, Greg, and we hope that you'll please come back and give us your great insight here on the Morning Steam Show. Okay, it's going to do it here for me on Monday. Let's run a little drawing here. I think we could get a little drawing in here for the crew, and if you want to be eligible for the drawing right now and win win a subscription to my picks, go ahead and comment in the chat right now. And let's see here. I think that's it. Let's hear from Mikey.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, we're doing the drawing here right now, and let's see who's going to win a subscription. If you'd like, to my plays over at winnable.com. Send you my best. Andrew K. there. Thank you, Andrew. I think you're already signed up. If you're, I'll put another month on. If not, use the promo code WINNER. Get signed up for a month if you'd like to receive more plays from me. If not, give it to somebody else, and we'll do another drawing tomorrow. Just thank you to everyone joining me here, especially today on the Morning Steam when things were a little bit thin here, getting with our card here today. But hey, like I said, I'll probably have maybe a women's basketball game or two, maybe even a college baseball game. I saw the lines coming out here for the women's games today, K-State and Baylor, Georgia and Auburn today. So, and also college baseball, the day games, also soccer action today. Some of the big games coming up. We've got early start here in 2 hours. Pisa and Fiorentina, also Udinese and Bologna. EPL with Man U and Everton today as well. So we got some nice action going here for the afternoon card. All right, that's going to do it here for the Morning Steam Show. Appreciate again everybody in the chat today. Great job from folks like Robert and Art Thompson, Greg and Terrell here as well, Public Enemy, Kripke, and really thank everyone here for joining us here today on the show. Catch you tomorrow here with more Morning Steam. Go ahead, make sure you check out Mikey Money today at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with pre-gaming. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action here on a Monday. And also BB MMA picks here the next, I think we're getting it together either today or maybe early tomorrow. Waiting on the word here from BB and our guests this week, but we're going to preview here. We're heading to Mexico this week, so get ready. I think now, look, here's a funny thing, right? I mean, I don't mean to make light of it here as we get ready for our main event card here this week, but look, there are some other sporting events right now that are scheduled in Mexico, and we'll see over the next few days. I think we're going to be okay by the weekend, but obviously there's been a little bit of a drama going on south of the border right now, and the event is scheduled here this week in Mexico City. Yeah, you know what? It's not maybe the center of the cartel universe there right now, but still, just got to wait and see what's going on in Mexico here. But obviously with all the drama going on yesterday following the killing of the cartel leader and all the cars that they were setting ablaze there. It's just a technique by the cartels to kind of disrupt some of the response by military in Mexico. So, but everybody sheltered in place there pretty much. Everybody went inside. Don't shoot.
Critical
So
notice.
hopefully we'll get that on here this week, and we'll see. I don't think there's been any talk or anything in the public just yet about it, but obviously some concerns down there south of the border. It'll be Brandon Moreno and Loner Kavanaugh in that main event this week. Flyweights, also Chito Vera and David Martinez. A lot of Hispanic influence, of course, on this card. Zell Huber is on the card as well. So we'll have a good card here this week and be joined by the guys on Saturday. Right, that's going to do it. And for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.